Hey, welcome back to the Hooligans Pitch, episode 77, the last one of season 2.
Last one.
So we're going out with a bang.
Yep, here it is. Before the season starts.
Yeah. 10-ish days until new season. So it's right around the corner. So
Get ready.
let's wrap up the summer and then we're moving right into another season, what is it, like 9 months, 8 month long season. So
I can't
I'm
wait.
excited.
I'm jonesing for this to get going. The Olympics, being in the Final Four of the Olympics right now for soccer, it's kind of like it's better quality. So it's getting me a little bit more, realization that we are just 10 days away from seeing our boys back in England. I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Yeah. But before we dive in, I got a new Voodoo Ranger for you.
Do you?
Yep. I wasn't going to get the pack because I just wasn't going to get that much beer. But then it was a special edition in there. It's Voodoo Ranger Peach Force.
Whoa.
So Peach IPA.
Have you had it yet?
Tasty.
Okay.
Yeah, I had one the other night. I cheated, but it's tasty. Getting a little too fruity for me though. It's good. It's getting away from the beer a little bit, which is good. But like, I don't know, still like some of that beer essence in there. But
yeah, I get
it's tasty.
that. I get that. Would you buy it again?
Yeah, like I don't not like it, but it's just gotta know what you're getting into. It's very peachy.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Staying away from the alcohol tonight. I am doing a no-hito. So I really like the Spindrift. It's probably my favorite one. Have you had it?
I haven't had the Nojito, but I've always seen it, and I was like, I don't know. It could be like too minty or something.
Go out of your way. Really? To get it. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a whirl. But let's talk Arsenal, because I got to see Arsenal live for the first time in, I think 2017 was the last time I saw them here.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
The Bay Area or LA?
No, it's LA. They played Bayern.
Okay.
I think it was 2017, somewhere around there. So yeah, been a good handful of years. Certainly the first time since they've kind of come back to prominence and are much more exciting to watch. My first time at SoFi too. That place is insane.
That place like? It's huge, right?
It's huge. You literally walk in on the third floor, which was kind of a little bit disorienting at first when I walked in, and you're like not looking down like one level, but like 3 levels basically.
The stadium isn't underground, is it?
No, but like the fields and lower 2 levels, I guess technically are.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, it's definitely like dug down.
Interesting.
So very cool. The big like TV ribbon thing is just insane. I've heard the comments before the game, and I kind of fell into the same trap of like it's just such a technological marvel that sometimes I was like caught staring at the screen to watch the game, and I was like, the game is like literally right in front of me. Like, what am I doing? But it's just like something you haven't seen. It's not just your regular big like video screen board. Right. It's this whole wraparound thing. So yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, the stadium's incredible. I don't know if that's the way the stadiums are going. Like, these things are going to get just crazier and crazier as technology and everything improves. But but it was cool. There was a little Arsenal pre-game like party.
Okay.
So we went to that. We talked to some guys from Arsenal, the LA supporters group, and a couple from San Diego, and just hanging out, having some drinks, playing some games, some little picture opportunities.
Nice.
They had some former Arsenal players come out and talk, but we didn't make it in time because the line was very long.
Okay. What games y'all playing in there?
It was pretty chill stuff, just like the little like flick soccer board.
Yeah, what is that fun?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
I am not good at it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I stayed away from it, honestly, but I watch people play. But it kind of reminds me of, do you ever do Lego soccer?
Vaguely. You gotta like flick something back and it pushes
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it was kind of like that, where it's like a
Okay.
little like spring-loaded flick thing, and
Interesting.
it hits the ball. So yeah, I having done that for a few years when we had it as kids, I was like, I'm just not good at that game, so I'm not even gonna try. But otherwise, it's like pretty simple stuff. They had a band come in, play some of the Arsenal
Whoa.
songs and chants.
Nice.
That was cool. Yeah, then we rolled in and getting our seats. We were above, back behind one of the goals, Arsenal side, of course. And would you believe it? Of the 62,000 people that were there, the guy in front of us was the guy we met outside from the LA Arsenal supporters group, and like we didn't even talk seats or anything. It just random happenstance. Here we are in line together, and then now sitting right next to each other.
That happens, man. It's a small
It was
world.
crazy. Yeah.
When I went and saw Messi play, there was a guy and his kid at Taco Bell where we were right before the game, and then they were sitting right next to us. 74,000 people. How's that happen?
That's crazy.
I
know. But I mean, like it was cool the whole way down to that. Coming down from Sacramento, there's a good group of visual Arsenal supporters on the plane.
Nice.
So it was cool to kind of have like this unofficial like traveling contingent.
Yeah.
But yeah, game starts. It's preseason game. It's nothing overly high quality. And certainly some younger guys playing, some people
Sure.
playing in out of position, I guess you could say. Yeah, it got off to a pretty good start. Gave up a goal to Hoyland pretty early on, but like it was Hoyland versus, I think his name is Aiden Heaven, something like that.
Yes, your defender.
But he's like 17. Yeah, Aiden Heaven. He's 17. He's playing out here against Hoyland, who's 21. So like it's not a huge age gap, but I think just the physicality
Experience,
gap
sure.
in that is enough. So kind of sucks to go down early against United, but they brought it back pretty quickly and turned it on, and United lost Hoyland to injury and Lenny Yoro in this game to injury, so
Not worth
kind
it.
of a terrible preseason for them.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, but yeah, and then we got to see Gabriel Jesus score the goal at the other end, and then second half, Martinelli came in and he just lit up some young United defender and slotted that ball in. And at this point, like teams are such a mishmash of like young and experienced and in position, out of position. So it's like, again, preseason, not reading too much into it, but like always love to see a win over United, and to see it in person was a lot of fun. And I was glad to see a lot more of like first team players than I maybe expected.
Yeah,
leading
for sure.
up to this, we basically only missed the English guys and Saliba.
You got Benny Blanco in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, the English guys that went to the Euros, I guess. But yeah, the Brazilians and Kai came back Thursday, I think it was, and the game was Saturday, so they made a little appearance here, but it was cool. It was fun. Met up with some fellow hoolies out there. Took a picture.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was cool. It was a good time, and I hope they come back soon because I'll be right back out there.
Yeah, I feel you, man. We'll be going together shortly. I got three big questions though. I've been meaning to ask you about this game.
Sure.
And as honest as you can with these answers. Who had more fans in the stadium, Man U or Arsenal?
I think the Arsenal fans were more concentrated on like the fine like Arsenal supporters side, because you looked across the field and it's the United side, and it was a decent contingent, but like a lot of empty seats where I looked around us and it felt like it was pretty full.
Nice.
But then that Hoyland goal goes in and that place was loud. So I think there's a lot of United fans in there, just maybe not on the lower seats or in that defined United section. So probably a good split, I'd say.
Okay.
because I mean, the Arsenal goal goes in and it's popping off, and like mid game, there's songs coming up from lots of different areas.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it's pretty fair split. I don't know if United did a pre-game like party thing, because there's a good handful of United wearing people in the Arsenal like pre-game thing, so it's like a little bit strange, but whatever. We're all there to see a good game
for sure. What was it like seeing Harry Maguire live?
Fine.
He did
like
normal job on his end.
Yeah, like I didn't notice anything terrible, but like he definitely didn't light it up or anything. But again, it's preseason. He's warming up. He's getting his mistakes ready for the season.
Okay, okay, that's what I was curious about. Did you see any blatant mistakes where you're just like, oh gosh,
okay, nothing too bad.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my last question, which I didn't know why this happened, but why is there PKs?
So from what I understand, because they did this last year too, is it's decided by the clubs beforehand if they want to do it. And then it's PK practice, and they're trying to replicate the in-game penalty kick kind of stress and tension. But of course, it's a pre-season match, so like stress level's not going to be that high, and it won't have been as physical as a real game. So I don't think it really works out that way. But I think it's also a little bit more of like for the fan spectacle of it, because
that's true.
They like the first, I think they only did it for the first 2 or 3 people that kicked. They would like have an announcer like announce who's coming up to kick, and like Gabriel Martinelli coming up to kick, and like almost do like a whole intro for them. And it's like, this is weirdly Americanized now.
Did they tone it down by like the 4th kicker?
Yeah, I think the penalties are just moving too quick, and they just, I don't know if they weren't sure who was going up, so they were kind of checking the list off of the number or something, but it kind of faded away at a certain point. And,
interesting.
It was fine without the intros. We all know who's going up there, and if we don't, it's preseason. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what was the bigger ovation? The full-time 90 Arsenal winning 2-1, or them winning in PKs?
Definitely the full time. Okay. I think got a little bit more, a prolonged kind of cheer and chant and song, whereas like once the PKs ended, I feel like everyone was kind of like, all right, cool, and then everyone like starts to head out, which I think it is a weird feeling. Like the win doesn't really matter regardless, but having just watched your team win, you're like, oh yay, and then you go into penalties and like they lose in there, so it's like we still won, but like didn't. And so yeah, it was weird, but I told my brother, I was like, that's the least stressed I've been watching any penalties ever, because they just did not matter. Yeah, so it was cool though. For the price of a ticket, if I can get a full game and a little bit extra, why not?
Yeah, I've never seen a PK shootout, so
yeah,
nice, man. Looked fun.
Yeah, good times.
Well,
yeah, but I think all the U.S. tours are done now. Like every team, I think, is pretty much back in England.
Yeah,
or at least Europe now. Because I know that Liverpool was over here for a little bit.
They're in Philly.
United, obviously. I think City and Chelsea were here too, somewhere in America.
They just left the other day because I saw Holland.
Oh yeah,
this last weekend.
He got the Hattie and then raw dogged a 7-hour flight home.
And what we mean by that is he watched the airplane map with no music, no movies.
Is this a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's a trend. Yeah, people are just staring at the screen for the whole ride. Hey, man.
All right. More power to you.
Yeah. Have fun. I will not be doing that.
No, not at all. Yeesh.
Well, should we get on to the EPL news?
Yeah,
let's drama, the transfers.
Get into the Premier League stuff. Get into the transfers. Get into the exits. potential exits, I guess.
I just need these transfers to go through so I can have a better idea what my team is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Or I take the player and hope for the transfer and try to work around doubling
That's
up
the
on the
thing.
team.
Yeah, you can do that, and we've seen that work a little bit in the past. It's definitely a risk because now you got two guys on one team. So if it's a bad week, or you kind of eat that. But yeah, I'm haven't really sat down to really figure out my team yet. But I'm just in my head like mentally kind of throwing names around, and yeah, there's a few where it's like I'm waiting to see if something moves. Or just like take these two, and if they end up on the same team, then it's like, okay, well, either roll with it for a little bit or switch it out. Or I'll just say most notably would be Schlanke right now with the rumors of Tottenham.
So say he doesn't get transferred by the time the season starts. Are you going to put him on your team and maybe hope for a double up? Because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been looking at him even before the Tottenham news came out, just because he did perform well last year, and Bournemouth I think will do well again. They brought in Sinistera now, so he should be able to take some of that, take some of the defenders away from Schlanke in the middle, and two, be able to get the ball down the wing and cross it into him, hopefully. So he was already kind of on my radar, but then like the Tottenham news kind of came out. I think they're saying like 60 million, which is probably a little bit rich for the quality that he is.
It's a bit high.
But Bournemouth don't need to get rid of him or necessarily want to, so fair enough. Pay up. But I know we kind of talked about it a little bit already off the pod, but while not Harry Kane caliber, he's that kind of build of player, right, where it allows Son to be on the wing where he really thrives. Solanke can kind of hold his own as well, and would probably only get better under presumably better coaching that Tottenham has. I don't know if there's any real traction to it. I see it pop up every couple of days now, but some of the comments I saw initially were like very against it, and I was like, I don't think that's a bad move necessarily.
I don't think it's a bad move either. And the year Harry Kane popped off before he left for Germany, Son was popping off too. And it almost makes you go, do you double up on these two guys? It's so risky to do, but just the thought of it, having a Spurs team that plays very attack heavy. The year Kane and Son both popped off, Kane had 287 points as a forward. The next highest after him was Salah with 249, and then after that was Son with 186. So that is something. He was top four as a striker, but this was the outlier year. Holland 351. So like just crazy. No one's even close to that. No one will ever get close to that. What was the high score last year?
Not 351.
306. Well, Saka was 306.
Okay.
With adjustments.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of part of it too. Is like if Son and Solanke can kind of make that partnership again, like you potentially have two players now like really on it, and that worked for Tottenham for so long with Kane and Son, but I don't know. Son's a good enough player, I think, to play center forward, but I don't think that's where he's best. I think he's on that left wing with an actual center forward there. He is his bread and butter.
Yeah, this is a tough decision.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone right now that's a lock for your team?
I think maybe like one or two, but I'm not trying to like get too locked down yet because I just want to like I haven't even like listed everybody out that I'm interested in, so I want to kind of keep the names in my head and obviously some of them jump out more than the rest, but Yeah, there's like maybe one or two where it's like I'm maybe like 95% sure I'm going with them.
95%, Chad.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we get a hint of what team?
Well, I'll just tell you one. I don't really care. um, it's a little bit emotional and a little bit early, I guess, to make a judgment. But Smith Rowe on Fulham, I think, is gonna cook.
You're doing it.
I think he's gonna cook. You know, he scored today against Sevilla, and the goal itself is cool, but his setup of it was, I think, gonna unlock Fulham a little bit more here. And you know, he receives the ball back to goal, and first time flick out to Robinson, who is still bombing down the wing. So I think it's going to be either one of them. Hopefully, both are just going to pop off, with Robinson getting a boatload of assists, Smith Rowe maybe getting a boatload of assists, or kind of floating in the goal, box area like he did today, and just picking up the loose crosses and the loose balls. So, I again, 95% sure I'm going with Smith Rowe, and it certainly has the emotional pick in there, but yeah, it's early. I gotta try some things.
You got the injured reserve.
Yeah, come on.
Wow, bold move. I did not see that pick come in. Interesting. I feel like I could talk you out of it, but hey, man, go with your heart.
No, yeah. I know it's a not a slam dunk by any means of going off of how much he's played over the last 2 years, or maybe even his injury record, but
sure,
we'll see.
Yeah, I've been making lists, and I've been just going team by team and just going forward, mid, defender, goalie, and just like writing them down as I go of like who makes like my top for each position.
Yeah,
it's hard, man. It's so hard. Aston Villa, I have one of every position.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Easy.
almost one of every position. Like almost. Liverpool, one of every position. West Ham.
Yeah.
What do you do
Tough
there?
one too.
What do you do there? I thought Paqueta was going to be out this season for gambling, and now he's good to go. I just looked up a bunch of stuff, and there's nothing. So I guess he's good.
It kind of faded away, like
It's big time.
So and I don't really know what happened, because I thought it was, when it all came out, it sounded like he was going to be on City this season, but then the gambling thing came out, so like City backed out, and then like Paqueta was like going to be banned from playing, and then like summer hit, and they just like never mentioned it again. So maybe something got dealt with behind closed doors, or while Euros were going, so everyone was distracted, and he's still there. He's still gonna cook. They brought in some decent signings as well already. So,
do you think City's still an option?
I think they could be, unless it is the gambling thing is still kind of hovering around him. I don't know, but I think City has to be looking at someone to kind of step into that De Bruyne role. Like, Kevin's made it very clear he wants to go to Saudi and get that bag before he retires. Like,
yep.
If that happens this summer, I don't think City wants to be scrambling at the end of the window here. But like, you're kind of leaving it pretty late already, so maybe they got word from Kevin that he's going to stick around this season. But now if they lose Alvarez, I know Paqueta's not a striker, but do you maybe go for him and just, if Haaland's out injured, Pep just goes back to the like no striker system?
I know, and looking at City's team, it's like, do you go against Haaland?
That's always the risk. That's the one in my head where, like, when we do, Champions League or World Cup, I'm always like, I won't pick Ronaldo or Messi, and then it backfires. And same thing here is like, I won't pick Haaland because everyone will pick him, and then it backfires because he's getting hat tricks for the first 10 games. Like,
I think you got to do it. I think you got to stick with it until it doesn't work. That's just that's like the one. I don't want to say it's a lock yet, because we've seen other players on their team shine. Like Vardiol. I think Vardiol could have a great fantasy year just because of how many stats he compiles. But Haaland could pop off and score 40 goals this year again, and like
easy,
make it look like no problem. It just depends. I think not having Kevin would be a big deal, and Kevin's a year older now, so it's like you got to factor in those things too. This year feels like it's the most difficult year of picking players.
I think so. Like it seems like a lot of maybe not the top teams are making any like too crazy of signings, but I think a lot of I'll say like 4 through 10 kind of teams are making like a lot of smart signings.
Yep.
Villa building out their team even more with Onana now in the midfield. Maatsen in there. Archer is still a little bit of a mystery to me, but at least a backup for Watkins if he goes out injured. And same for where would they go?
Well, while you look, I am going to pick one player for content.
Yeah.
Any guesses? And mind you, he kind of is a stat beast.
A stat beast, and you're picking for content? I don't know. Just give it to me.
Sir Woutfass.
You're going to do it?
I'm going to do it. Hang on, Chad. Well, first off, we just get to focus on him everywhere. That's something we should both want.
It's fair.
But looking at Euros this year, he would have been an interesting pick. He did pick up a lot of tackles, a lot of clearances, and that's because he is a reckless monster in that back line. So it's nothing. This pick is not I like this player, he's a great defender. It's this guy's all over the place. He does crazy stuff. Let's go for it. I'm picking up there. Oh, it's not going to let me do this last year. I don't think it is. Let me see if I can bring it up. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Who scored went against what I was hoping it would bring up. But I've been watching him, Chad, and I think he'd be fun to have on a team. I can get rid of him fast. If it's not working and he's picking up reds left and right, gone. But he will start for Leicester. He played almost every game last season. So will it pay off?
You just want that chaos factor in your team. Like
I haven't had a chaotic team in a while. My teams have been pretty I guess last year it was just I picked good the first week, and then it just kind of rolled.
Yeah.
I had a little hiccup in the middle of the season, but it was pretty straightforward for me. So yeah, let's get a little spicy in there, and that'll be my spicy pick.
I like it.
Gotta have one.
I mean, yeah, he somehow finds a way to start every Leicester game, every Belgium game. Like, I don't think he looks good at all, but he's clearly doing enough.
Never said he did. Never said he looked good. Don't ever say I said he looked good. I'm still looking up player stats here. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna read off what he's got. And then we kind of said it. Onana. That could be finally him on a good team with possession.
I think it'll be interesting to watch because, the times that he's really like proved himself on Everton, like he looks really good, but then Everton as a whole kind of lets him down. So to see him on, a Aston Villa team that is going to build off of last year and is playing pretty exciting stuff, I think we'll see what he can really do. And with no Douglas Luiz in there, they certainly need someone to kind of hold down that midfield, and Onana's going to be that guy. And no Polina in the league this year, so Someone's got to take over those tackles.
Yeah, who's next? Who's in that?
Yeah.
Oh man, are you gonna pick anyone from the promoted teams?
I've been looking at them a little bit. It's so hard. Like I don't follow championship play enough to really know who's a standout there. But I did notice Ipswich picked up Murich, goalkeeper that was at Burnley last year. When he stepped in for Trafford, he looked pretty good. Made a lot of saves. So I've been looking at him. I think distribution might be the thing that kind of lets him down, but it just kind of depends how they play. Looking back at his career recently, he was Burnley's starting keeper all through championship play. And then, they got Premier League and brought in Trafford, and it clearly didn't work out so well. So, new promoted team again for him. And I think you probably signed him with intention to start him. So he's on the list of potential keepers for me.
This is going to be ridiculously hard, man. I look at the table and I just don't know what position to go with in each spot. So something to think about. The Fulkrug and Somerville West Ham attack with the surroundings of Kudus, Paqueta, James Ward-Prowse. It's like West Ham's set up, I think, for so much success here.
Yeah. I think their weakest part now is going to be their back line.
I mean, Zuma's still pretty solid. Not the best, but yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because it seems like, I guess in, out and out strikers, they're kind of light. Like Fulkrug will do it, but, Mikel Antonio is still, he's only getting older, so he might not be available. Like last year, he wasn't available a lot. Was Scamacca alone?
Scamacca just got really hurt today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's see. He tore his ACL, and I want to say he got his LCL and MCL.
Damn, what the hell?
I think he's still in Atalanta, though. I don't think he's coming.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how that transfer worked, but yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, okay. So, maybe striker itself might be their weakest point, and then defensive line, but I think that mid block and wingers is very solid for West Ham right now.
Fulkrug, Bowen, Somerville, the front three, with probably a rotation of Kudus anywhere you want.
Yeah,
Alvarez and Souček bouncing back at the defensive mid. Ward-Prowse and Paqueta on the somewhat central mid attacking.
So
you got Kufal.
They're running into the same issue as last season. I was like, how do you get all these guys on the pitch at one time?
yeah, that's probably definitely their toughest angle.
Yeah,
Kufal and Emerson as your left and right back.
Yeah, yeah, certainly not a bad squad. I think just I would have liked to see some reinforcements, at least in that center back position, because they brought in Max Kilman, which I think is fine, but I don't think he certainly didn't light it up in his time at Wolves. He had some good moments and good games, but I don't know if that was the signing that I would have liked them to make. But if you score more goals than the opponent, then it doesn't really matter how your defending is.
I'd like to see Guehi go to West Ham.
Yeah, that would be a good move, honestly. Because, the rumor of him going to Newcastle feels one of those where, I don't know if he's playing enough there, unless they're going to, move out Schär, but...
He just had a career year.
Yeah, he's looked good, even as one of the older guys in the squad. My only other thought, was Botman went out with the injury, but I don't think he seems that injury prone. So decent rotation between all of them, and I don't know. I think if you're Guehi, you're either sticking with Palace just to keep playing, or find a team like a West Ham where it's like they have a nailed on, Azuma who's always going to start when he's fit, but the other
Mavropanos.
Yeah, the other center back position is always kind of the up in the air rotation. So like, nail that down for yourself. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if that one goes through. For Palace's sake, I don't want them to. I want them to kind of hold strong here, but
Yep.
Let's see.
Where do you think Gallagher goes? Or stays, but doesn't play?
Yeah. I think he'll go. The traction with him going to Atletico Madrid seems pretty strong.
Simeone wants him. Wants him bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think Gallagher's necessarily a bad player, but when Chelsea spent all this money on Caicedo and Enzo, like, they're going to get the play ahead of you, unfortunately, even though you're, maybe a better fit than one of them. Yeah, I kind of thought he was going to stick around, but then from all the reports I saw, he's only making like $50K a week when Atletico's now offering him like $200K a week. So I think your Chelsea dream is dead, and go make some money at Atletico for a couple of years and see what you can do.
Gallagher's team stats for Chelsea last year, Chad. 7 assists, ranked second for Chelsea. Chances created, 53, second for Chelsea. Duels, tackles, interceptions, and possessions won all first for Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He did well in a Chelsea team that struggled for a lot of the year. He's not really a number 10, so you don't really want to play him that far forward. But then, you splashed all this money on two big midfielders, so like, you kind of have to play them. Even though like Caicedo definitely got better as the season went on, but I think Gallagher probably should have took his spot, back next to Enzo for at least the start of that season. But yeah, I mean, it just like it sucks to always see your academy graduates like kind of make it and then not.
Yeah.
But it seems like Chelsea's been, at least from reports that you see in the media, is like been pretty harsh with how they're handling the situation with him, which is like kind of rubbed me the wrong way as a fan, or even a younger footballer who maybe has the Chelsea Academy option. It's like, oh well, I can learn everything here and then make it into the team, and then kind of get kicked out. Not even just like a cordial leaving. It's like if you want to stay, cool, but like you're not playing. You're playing, with reserves if you are, and
it's pretty wild.
A little bit shitty.
Yeah, that's something. And then to have Enzo walk in there, and with that whole situation, it's like that's got to irk you even more.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think we would have expected Chelsea drama to continue into this season necessarily, but we're ramping up early, so maybe they're trying to get it all out of the way now and then have a smooth, quiet season.
Do you think Cole Palmer has a better stat year?
I don't know. I don't know how this guy plays, Maresca. What what kind of tactics he uses. And I think his only big job has been Leicester, and like, he got them promoted, but are you jumping the gun a little bit by bringing him into not only a bigger club like Chelsea, but a club with some instability in recent years, I guess? Mm-hmm. It just seems like it could be maybe a little bit too much on his plate, which could translate to some poor decisions and tactics, or subs, or anything like game related as well. So I think you almost got to build around Cole Palmer. Like, he had such a great time at Chelsea last season. Kind of just continue to build on that, and maybe not like fully form your tactics around him, but I think he has to be a key component. He came in and kind of turned Chelsea's season around.
If it weren't for him, man, it was relegation talk for
a
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Palmer feels like it. I should put him in my team, but it's not a lock. I got other players on my end.
I think it's just it's the same as last season with Chelsea for me, where it's just hard to see how they're going to perform, and who will perform. Like, it's more or less the same group of players, plus a few, minus a few, but it just there's no, I don't know. It's such a unknown. Like we were talking about Adebayo, like going there from Fulham. Like, is he gonna play? I don't know. Like,
I don't think so. The more I look at their squad, I just don't think.
I don't think he will either.
There's a commitment to him when there's all those other guys in line.
Yeah, it seems like it was a free transfer for them, so smart, because he'll be good depth if he doesn't start. But just for him, it feels like a weird move. Like at Fulham, I feel like you had a better chance of retaining your starting place or getting it back. And if not Fulham, and you want to move, I feel like there's maybe better options. Unless Chelsea's just giving him a lot of money since it was a free transfer. I don't know what kind of deal he signed, but yeah, it'd be an interesting one. I mean, he was always a decent fantasy player in our leagues.
He was a stat getter when he played.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone will take the risk on him right now. But
I don't think so.
If he plays a lot, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone go for him at some point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. In my head, I'm already picking an Arsenal defender.
I was kind of thinking the same, honestly.
Out of the 4 that I think I should pick, I have no idea which one I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you look at recent years, I think Ben White is the safest option, because he plays a shit ton. He performs well, but like most of the wing backs, doesn't get an absurd amount of tackles and stuff. Just gets a handful here and there, and then you get the occasional assist, right? Saliba's very good, but I think a lot of his defensive work doesn't necessarily show up on the stats. Because I've looked at him, even throughout last season, I was kind of keeping an eye on him, and his stats never, at least for how we score in the fantasy league, didn't really do enough for me to get him in there. Gabriel's a little bit the same, but he seems to be more of a goal threat,
right?
And then, presumably it's going to be Calafiori at left back, which he looks a decent attacking threat while also having the defensive side to him.
Will he play right away?
I think probably.
Damn.
He got brought in for 40 million, something like that, right? Yeah. Under 40. And from all the like scouting reports I've read and watched, he's basically like almost like a combination of a Zinchenko and like Tomiyasu kind of vibe, whereas like he has that defensive side that Zinchenko lacks, but he also has good ball control and like an attacking presence like Zinchenko can have. So I think he'll start right away. But then there's still Yuri and Timber, who we didn't get to see basically at all last season since he went out with the ACL. So I don't know where he fits in. I think he'll probably rotate with Ben White. But when we saw him in the first game last season, he was in at left back. So I don't know. It's. I think an Arsenal defender is a smart choice and like one that I'm considering as well. But I'm kind of in the same boat of just like I don't know who's the safest pick to play a lot and get good points.
I mean, we only had Ben White in our defender category for Arsenal last year, and small sample size, but he had the most clean sheets by far. And it's hard to compare and contrast the four that we bring up. But Ben White is just such a good shout because of those clean sheets, and they're all going to get clean sheets too. That's
yeah. So I mean,
it's tough.
We'll see how Arsenal kind of end up playing this season, because last season was so right side heavy that Ben White was a smart pick, because if there's gonna be a wing back there that gets an assist, it was gonna be Ben White, because it was just everything was down that right side with Odegaard and Saka. I think bringing Calafiori is a little bit of a play to get that left side up and running more. But that also kind of relies on Martinelli finding his footing again, or Trossard, or whoever it might be on the left wing. But
it's possible. I don't rule it out.
Yeah,
interesting one. Lenny Yoro kind of brought him up. Big Man U signing. He's out for 3 months.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Xerxes, interesting. Don't know much about him.
I don't know much either, and I don't know. It feels like a weird signing with Højlund being there, Xerxes also being a young striker. I feel like you probably should have brought in a little bit more of an experienced striker to kind of supplement the position. If Højlund's not doing it or is out injured, then at least you have someone experienced to come in and kind of run the role, right? And I don't know enough about Xerxes to really say otherwise, but it feels like a riskier move to kind of just have those two to really rely on as your strikers.
Yeah, Man U's interesting, dude. I don't know. When we do our
does Ten Hag survive this season? He's back in the good graces, so
I don't know. I don't know what did they finish last year? 6th?
Somewhere around there.
8th.
But 8th. But then I think they won the FA Cup, right?
So they'll get Europa.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it certainly wasn't a great season for them, especially with all the drama around Sancho and Rashford at a certain point. But now Ten Hag and Sancho were tight. They've squashed the beef apparently.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts.
We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. They're going to be another just weird one to watch. I feel like it could go either way with Ten Hag. If you're having an okay season, you might be given the full season just because you have new owners. So they might just want to kind of see out the season and builds towards the following season, or you have new owners, so they're going to want to see improvement and change quickly on their new investment. And if you get blown out by Brentford 4-0 again, that could be you gone pretty soon. I don't know.
That could be the dagger.
Yeah.
It could. I don't know, man. When we do our predictions, I don't know where Man U is going to fall.
It's going to be rough.
Oh, gosh. And then notable goodbyes. We got to say goodbye to Pascal Gross leaving Brighton. The ultimate utility man. He was on my list to pick, honestly.
Yeah.
He played a little bit of everything. So, that's kind of a bummer.
I think that's a bigger loss for Brighton than I think a lot of people are giving credit for, because he could fill in at right back, he could fill in at midfields, and even when he was in a more defensive position, he always seemed to find a good attacking threat to his game as well. Yeah, I think a bummer for Brighton for sure, and yeah, it was kind of on my list for a fantasy player as well, and bummer to see him go. But still, Brighton is still kind of just this. I'm excited to see what they become because the coach they got is just doing different things, and if they can get it together or at least find a good consistency, I think they'll have a good season. Whereas last season they started really hot and then just fizzled out and could never reignite it.
They scored a lot and they let a lot of goals in. So
yeah,
make a little bit of a change there.
Yeah.
I think the biggest goodbye has got to be to Michael Elise.
Yeah,
right.
It's a big loss for sure. But I think, given the money that Bayern paid, like he didn't. I mean, he played a good amount, but not enough for you to turn down the 53 million.
No. Great when he played, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, so certainly a risky transfer just based on his injury record, but I think if Crystal Palace had to let go of anyone in that front attack, that was probably the one. Even though he was, very exciting to watch when he was on. It's just he was injured so much, and you get an offer like that, I think you just got to take it. So as long as they can, hold on to Eze, hold on to Mateta.
Yep.
I think I don't really know who they're playing at left wing these days, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, Ayu was over there for a minute. He's 33, 34. So yeah, they're gonna need to do something up there. Gahey might be out too. So it's like Palace. They're doing the Palace thing again, and it's a bummer.
Yeah. They ended so strongly once they got that new coach in, and the attack was really clicking. So, I think as long as you can keep Eze and Mateta, you should be able to kind of fill in the other slots. Mateta's just lighting up the Olympic Games now. So if he comes in,
I won't call it a lock, but
no, yeah, I'm saying he's putting his name out there for look at me for your fantasy league, because he ended the season well, goes into the Olympics and is playing well.
I can fit him in my squad.
I think whereas like he feels like an Ollie Watkins last season, where initially a lot of people didn't look at Ollie because
I would say 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like not a lot of people started with Ollie last season. But yeah,
That's
1
true.
to 2 years ago, Ollie Watkins, was a little bit unknown, and kind of popped off here and there, but then started to find that consistency. And I think Mateta's kind of doing that right now, is like leaving on good form, picking up the good form again in the Olympics, and probably just going to roll that right into the season as long as he can stay healthy. And he has Eze, and I don't know. You got to fill out the attack a little bit more still, but
Figure that one out.
I think he could be a good shout, and probably someone that a lot of people won't look to pick. So could be that that pick to get you around everyone picking Haaland and take the lead.
I don't think so, Chad. He had 25 starts last year, 16 goals, 5 assists.
I mean, if you're doing your homework, you're going to see that. But if you're just going off the names and
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got to dig into the stats. You got to wiggle your way in here. If you're just going to pick Haaland, Watkins, and Salah,
which is not bad either.
It's not bad, but you're going to be on the same playing field with everyone else.
Gotta make spicy picks.
That's it. So, wow, fast in the back.
A personal goodbye to Polina, the tackle monster. Would have easily made my team this year if he was still there.
Now, I want to sprinkle some information on you here. Big talk of Arsenal looking at Mikel Merino. he had the most duels won in the top 5 European leagues last season by like a sizable margin.
Really?
So if he comes into Arsenal, he could be. It's either going to be him or Onana that's going to take over that Polina role in the league of like tackle monster that just gets, stupid numbers of tackles per game.
Where does he get slotted in though with Arsenal?
I mean, I think he'll be probably. You'll probably push Declan Rice a little bit forward, next to Odegaard more, and then Mourinho will be in behind him. Or he'll just be a rotation option, but I don't know. I think we'll see a lot of maybe game by game changes for Arsenal this season, whereas in the past 2 seasons it's been basically the same starting 11 as long as everyone was healthy. But I think Arteta's maybe learning that he can't just run 11 guys into the ground and to win the league. So I don't know. I mean, it's not even a done deal yet, so no use getting ahead of ourselves. But it could be a one to keep an eye on at least if he comes in. So maybe not a pick right from the get go, but see how much he plays and where he plays. But if he's in there, I think he's going to be racking up the points and tackles and interceptions and stuff.
Okay, I'll remember this. We'll clip it.
Yeah.
And then my last goodbye, which is a couple goodbye. Douglas Luiz and Alicia Lehman. The couple package to Juventus. Never seen that before. I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
Do you think they negotiated that?
Yes. 100% yes.
Like, look, they probably came to one of them first, and they're like, look, I like what you're offering, but I need one more thing.
She's coming with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty bizarre, but hey man, pretty cool at the same time too.
I mean, yeah, they all the weird clauses that we don't really hear about that get put into these contracts. I would not be surprised if it was like, I'll come, but you need to bring along my partner.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a crazy transfer. Yeah. So yeah, I think that marks the incoming, the outgoing, and the to be seen.
Yeah. So I mean, the only team we haven't mentioned here because they haven't done anything is Liverpool.
Hello.
Is this going to plan, or
it's reminiscent of 2 years ago when Klopp didn't really do much?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think this team needs a whole lot. Like,
no,
as long as everyone's healthy, I think this team is still one of the top 3.
Yep. I would have really liked a replacement. We lost Matip. Matip went to, oh gosh, correct me if I'm wrong, Hoffenheim? Doesn't sound right in my head, but I know he went.
Go. Matip. It just says without club on transfer market.
I don't remember. It's somewhere. He's going to Germany. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
I don't remember where in Germany though at the moment. Would have liked to see someone come in for him. Guehi. I'd love to get Guehi. Let's get Guehi. Put him with Conte. Put him with Virgil. I think that would be a great pairing because Virgil's getting old too.
Sure. Yeah.
That would have been a good one to see. Smikas at left back. He's playing kind of nice right now. So to have Robertson, Robertson's injured for
again.
Yeah, he got hurt again.
Oh no.
He's out for a couple months, I want to say.
I don't know. Injury table just says he's not fully fit, but potential return is opening weekend. So
okay, I thought it was going to be for longer then. Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we're in a pretty good spot, barring injury. I just think it would have been nice to have someone else, like kind of an Endo side by side, a Polina like. Honestly, that would have been a nice fit for us. It'll just be interesting to see how Slot plays. No one knows. Did you see a set piece he tried to roll the other day?
No.
Hey man, I'm all for experimenting. I just hope we can make it
Yeah,
work.
all right.
We didn't have any of our big boys in there, and I think that would have made a difference too. But basically, he had everyone set up outside, like just outside the 18, like everyone. And then when the corner was being taken, they all rushed towards the corner it was being taken at, and it looked scary. It didn't. Nothing came out of it. But at least we're like trying something.
Oh yeah.
Kind of out there. It'll be fun to watch. I hope.
No, I think it'll be fun. I mean, he's not inexperienced, and coming in with some fresh ideas certainly, and I think this Liverpool team will kind of build off of what Klopp did, and want to still be up there at the top and kind of get everyone at their best. I don't think it's going to be a rough transition. It doesn't seem like the team itself wasn't in a bad spot, where you have a bunch of dead wood or anything that you need to get rid of. So I think it'll kind of continue to roll, and it'll just be if Arne Slot's tactics and experimental plays, I guess, kind of come to fruition. But yeah, are you starting Gakpo or Darwin at striker?
I mean, you got to. I think we got to play Gakpo at left wing.
You're going left wing.
I think you got to. I mean, watching him play for the Dutch this summer.
But then what about Diaz?
I think he's got to go.
You think so?
I think we sell high. It's
not a bad idea. I mean,
PSG got money. Barcelona might have money.
They got some other things they can sell off.
They sometimes have money. Don't forget about Jota too. He plays on that left side. Darwin plays on that left side too. If we need to slot someone in centrally, I think Slot's going to see how well he played over the summer and be like, yeah, that makes so much sense. Like, play at your best.
I mean,
spot.
Gakpo had a great Euros, and was one of the highlights of that Netherlands team to get them as far as they went.
And on the flip side, Diaz had a great Copa. It's like they could have, arguably, they were the best left wings in both tournaments.
Yeah, good shout.
It's tough, man.
That is tough.
I hate how our right wing is
Salah.
Yeah, Salah for sure.
Yeah.
And Connor Bradley, if he wants to push up.
I mean, yeah, it's a little bit reminiscent of Arsenal too. Of like, you have all these players that can play like centrally to left wing, but then like right wing is like just Saka. That's it. If he gets hurt, panic mode.
Not far off.
Yeah. I think Liverpool will be fun to watch, though. I mean, I just want to see this like kick the ball up into the air kickoff strat.
First play of the game. First play of the season.
Yeah.
Who we got? Ipswich. Good luck.
Oh, you got to do it against them. That's the perfect one to try it.
I think we have them. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say it is. Yeah, we do.
Nice. Yeah.
First early game of the Premier League. Of course we get it.
Oh my gosh, you do. Yep, everything's going to plan.
This is what we do, Slot. Wake up early, get done early.
Yeah.
Oh God, we gotta win that game. If we don't win that game, I wish Slot the best, because that'll be a rough one to lose right away. I don't think we will, obviously.
I think you'll be okay. I mean,
it's just nerve-wracking. New coach, new system, going against
new coach, new system. Yeah,
arguably the worst team in the Premier League.
Yeah, but it's the excitement of newly promoted at home opening Premier League season. Like, there might be that weird juju going on around there, but I think Liverpool can overcome that and get it done.
And then the following weekend? We'll be together, so we might get to watch some of these games.
Yeah.
So we'll catch week 2. Liverpool Brentford.
Ooh.
10. Is this 10:30?
Arsenal
Is that
Villa
8:30?
week 2. Oof, man. Week 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Liverpool's at 8:30.
Hey, we should go do
For us here.
a little Vegas bet on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Is we're gonna be there already. We throw some money at some. I'm gonna throw money at Ipswich to win the league.
Oh my god.
But I mean, like, imagine that Leicester season. You were just there, chucked 10, $20 on Leicester to win the league, not expecting anything to happen.
Dude,
your return on that was, well, it was something like 5,000 to 1 or something.
Something
like,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bigger shout. Put $20 on Chelsea getting relegated.
Oof. Yeah, they were not far off last season.
What are the odds on that?
Probably not. Probably. I feel like they're not expecting Chelsea to go down right now, but
250 to 2,500 to 1.
Yeah, not bad.
It's a good payout.
Yeah.
A $10 wager on that is a $260 payout.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. It's all right.
Worth it? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. All right, should we do our predictions?
Yeah, let's make some early predictions here.
You start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom.
Do you want me to write yours down? I just got my pad here.
Yeah. Just get them both down there.
Sure.
20. I'm gonna put. I'm going Forest.
I like that pick. I think that's
Yeah,
very realistic.
I don't think they've done enough in the transfer market. They brought in that 6'8" keeper, but like,
he's gonna play.
Beyond that, I mean, I don't know that they got enough in there to really look much better than they did last season.
I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go Ipswich.
Fair. I think I'm gonna put them at 19. So
okay. Oh man, my 19. It's gonna be Forest.
Yeah, that's fair.
18.
18's where it gets a little interesting.
A little dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Prem stacked right now?
It is a little bit.
Feels a little stacked.
Like, you've got almost everyone in there that you would expect to be in there, though outliers maybe being Forest and Ipswich. Otherwise there's not a lot of weak teams, I'd say. 18 though. 18.
I got mine.
I think I have mine.
I'm going with Everton.
I'm between Everton and Southampton. I think I'm going to go Everton as well.
Oof.
They still seem to have a lot of outside noise around the ownership and all that going on. They well, I guess last season wasn't as bad as it really looked. They had the point deductions in there, but
true. They don't look better. That's
they don't look better. Yeah.
My takeaway here is I don't think they're going to be better.
And you lost Onana now. You lost Dele Alli, so I mean, yeah. I think Everton will be 18, and I'm just going to put Southampton at 17. Honestly.
Okay.
But I think it'll be close between the two.
My 17 is going to be the Wolves.
Wolves, huh? You're not buying into the Pedro Neto, He-Chan
I don't think so.
connection?
Not this time around. Too many injuries there.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. They did lose Kilman. They lost Lamina. I think that's the only ones that really started for them.
Saw wasn't at his best last year, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't show me. I mean, where did they finish last year? They were 14th last year.
Yeah, they definitely struggled.
Lost 5 out of 6 to end the season. That's kind of what I'm imagining might happen here again. Quality? Yeah, they'll have some quality, but that's about it.
Okay.
My 16 is going to be Leicester.
Leicester. It's a good shout. I think yeah, I think Leicester at 16 feels like spot on.
15?
15, I think I'll put Wolves at 15. I think they're gonna just kind of repeat last season.
I'm going Fulham at 15.
Fulham at 15. Wow. Oh, 14. You know, that's Crystal Palace's spot. Are they doing it again?
Chad, you read my mind.
I think so.
I need them to do better, though, if I'm going to roll with Mateta. But I just feel like, again, if they keep Guehi, I might change this position. But this is today.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a quick adjustment day before the season starts. We'll talk about it. But it just feels right to put them at 14.
Yeah. I think 14 feels pretty spot on for them, honestly. 13, I think, for me is going to be Fulham.
Yeah. Can I make a substitution?
Already?
Yeah. I'm gonna move everyone down one.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal's gonna be 13. Fulham's gonna be 14. Leicester's gonna be 15. I'm slotting in Southampton at 16.
Okay, smart. Yeah.
I left him off my list.
You overlooked them, yeah.
Okay. So you got 13 here.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
I think Bournemouth.
Ooh, Bournemouth, good shout. Oh no,
and maybe even lower if Schlenke goes.
That's fair. Yeah, we might need a little adjustment.
Yeah.
This is the too early predictions. I gotta reset my notes here. So that means I'm on 12 right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bournemouth at 12.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeesh. I think next for me is Brentford. Still got quite a sizable injury list. You know, if Tony and Mbumo can cook, then I think they'll go higher. But just a little bit of a question mark there.
I thought about doing them next, but I'm going with Brighton next.
Oh, wow.
I'm not that hyped on them this year.
Okay.
That's my 11.
11 for me. 11 for me, I think, is gonna be. I think I'm going Chelsea.
Dang, dude.
I get it. You got a new coach in there, new tactics, all that. Players have had another year to get used to each other, but I think it's just so many of the signings feel just like not system focused and just like, this is a young promising player, let's sign him. And so I think it's going to be a little bit more of like last season where it just doesn't fully click, and if it does, it's a little too late.
Luck will have to be on their side if they do anything spectacular.
Yeah,
they could honestly, they could be anywhere from 15 to 5 on my list.
Fair.
My number 10. This is where it's going to get a little tricky, but I'm going to go Brentford.
Brentford at 10, all right. Okay. 10. I think I'm doing Brighton at 10.
Yep.
I think they're going to be fun to watch, but I don't know if this coach's like positionless kind of tactical vibes are going to work well in the Premier League.
At number 9, Man United.
Oh, okay. I like it. I mean, 8 last year, so a return to form.
Yeah.
9. Let's do. Oh, wow. United's a good shout. Yeah, I'm gonna go United.
Attaboy. My 8. At number 8, I'm going Newcastle.
Yeah, I almost put them at 9. But 8, I think 8 will be West Ham.
Okay. My number 7. This is where Chelsea's going. Chelsea's going 7.
7, wow, okay.
Yeah.
You're a believer. 7, I think for me is going to be Newcastle there.
Okay. This is where it gets a little spicy, Chad.
Top 6. Who's showing up? Who's showing up? Top 6. I'm going to say... I think it will be... I'm going to say Tottenham.
Oh, Chad, I wrote them down too. Now, this is Tottenham for me before Solanke.
Correct, yeah.
We can regroup and talk about that pick. Okay?
Yeah. I think as it stands today, they've made a couple signings, but I don't think anything significant enough to push too much higher. But I think you bring in a Solanke or an actual striker, and this could change.
Top 5, Chad.
Oh my gosh.
Tough.
Yeah. Who do I have left? Arsenal, City, Villa.
Aston Villa at 5.
I was kind of thinking them.
We have, I believe we're both on the same page. Aston Villa, West Ham, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. So yes, West Ham will make Champions League on my list.
Nah, see, I put West Ham lower, right?
You put them 8. My bad.
Who's left for me then? Arsenal, Villa, City. Liverpool.
Did you forget a bottom team here?
Potentially.
Wolves, check. Southampton, yeah, you got them. Forest, check. Newcastle, check. Man United, check. Leicester. Oh, you got Leicester? You got Leicester, 16. Ipswich. Here you go, Leicester, top 4. Here we go again. Fulham. I think you missed Fulham.
Oh, did I miss Fulham?
Fulham cracking your top 5?
Nah.
So I mean, Tottenham is?
No. I think Fulham will go. What I did, United at 9.
Yeah.
I think Fulham will go 9.
Ooh.
Oh, Fulham at 9, United at 8.
United at 8. Okay. Which, you know what we should do? Just tangent. We should send this out to everyone in the league. See what your early predictions are too, just to see where we compare and contrast.
Yeah, I like that. So what's my 7?
You got, well, technically right now you have West Ham 7, Newcastle 6, Tottenham 5. Which is not bad.
I think I'm gonna roll with that actually. So Tottenham will be 5.
Okay.
I think Villa will take 4 again.
I am going to do West Ham at 4.
Wow. Kuda's going to take them right to the top.
Dude, I just think they're primed for it. New
It's
manager, like a little more motivation this year.
Yeah.
You know, Moyes, I don't want to say it was like a self-sabotage thing, but it just looked like they didn't fight for him.
Yeah.
And I can see this year with new players coming in, the motivation will be much higher than before.
Yeah.
So that's my reasoning. All right. The big 3. We've been here before.
Big 3. Well, look, I'm always going to go with my heart. So Arsenal's going to be number 1.
I am going with my head, and I don't believe Liverpool will win. So I am putting them at 3rd. It hurts. But I don't think we got it this year.
It's fair. A lot of unknowns with the new manager coming in, so okay, I'm gonna keep believing. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2, City 3. I think the teams that have made the smart signings below the top 3 will take some points off of City, and probably Liverpool and Arsenal too. But yeah, I think City's run is done. We're over it. Get Pep out of here.
Chad, again, I'm going with my head. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I get you.
I'm going with my head. I really want Arsenal to win. I believe they have the depth and the team to do it. But City just finds a freaking way.
They find a way.
I just can't pick against them. It's like going against Tom Brady. I don't really do that. So
yeah, 5 in a row,
dude. I mean, someone's got to beat them besides like the 2 teams that do it every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think, I think West Ham has a good shout with their signings. I mean, Villa, did well last season against them. That the chaos games against Chelsea could come back up, or they're just going to get smashed. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I want to believe that they will start to stumble a little bit more. Maybe less time with De Bruyne out there.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a very strong team, but 4 is enough. I think it's time to
please
sit back a little bit, enjoy the money you make to play football.
I don't know, man. With Pep saying this could be his last year, this is like the last dance, dude.
Could be. It very well could be. I hope not, because I don't want to see that happen again. But
you can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be the same thing of they start slow and everyone's like, oh well, this could be the season, and then they just turn it on the last like 12 games and never lose again.
Never lose again.
Yeah.
Well, 10 days, we'll get a good peek at what everyone's about to do.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
I want it now.
Yeesh. Right around the corner.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
well,
I'm good to go on this.
I think we just got to make some teams, let the people know that the season is beginning, and answer any and all questions that y'all might have.
Yeah.
So,
get your teams together, submit them.
Let's banter about it.
Started.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready, Chad. 10 days.
Let's do it.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Nailed it. Who's winning the Olympics, Spain or France?
I think France. They look like they're coming into good form and just building right now. So yeah.
Who's gonna beat Mateta? Nobody.
That's it.
Nobody.
He's a menace up there.
Monster. Absolute beast. All right, Chad. With that, Hooligans pitch. We're out.
Peace.